Hello, welcome to Directly to You. It's the fanatixfour podcast, dude. We talk about video games here. I'm AJ at fanatixfour, joined by Parker, also fanatixfour. It's a great time here. You can support the show and the channel and the podcast and everything we do here by going to twitch.tv/fanatixfour or youtube.com/fanatixfour and getting $4.99. And it don't even got to be your $4.99. It could be from Jeff Bezos if you're on Twitch specifically. You link your Twitch account with your Amazon Prime account if you have Amazon Prime, or if your mom has Amazon Prime, or your dog, or your grandma, or your dog's grandma. I don't know your life, but you can get such perks for doing so, like emotes, loyalty badges, free Switch keys from time to time, and access to our supporters only Discord, where you get access to the live recording sessions of this very show and get to contribute to the peanut gallery. It's fun. You get to talk crap respectfully. You can also join the Discord for the free by just clicking the link in the description and get to hang out. And then if you do it enough, you get to get added up in the ranks, and you can be super active or above and join the podcast without paying any money. It's good. It's nice and it's fun. Like I said, we play video games here. What video games are we playing?
What a great question. I'm playing one that I remembered earlier that the embargo is next week, so I'm not going to say words about it. And there you go. That's all. Otherwise, though, like, you know, some of the same old regular ones of like Mario Party with Ashley.
The thing about embargoes that confuses me is I don't know if we're allowed to say what the game is. That's never clear to me.
It never is. I feel like some of them clarify that one way or another, and then most don't. So, you know, whatever. But yeah, I mean, the big one though right now is I've recently started Shining Pearl, so there it is. Yeah. And man, it's just a good old time. It's just classic Pokemon, and I'm having fun. The reason it took me, the reason I got it recently at all, because I was like, I'll just wait, is my sister-in-law has been playing it, who, if you'll remember from the story arc, everybody who's been paying attention for years, Ashley got her into getting a Switch with Animal Crossing last year. She's been playing Animal Crossing a lot. Her boyfriend now was like, hey, you should get Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. Maybe you'll like it. And so she got it, and she does like it. And she was like, I think Ashley would really like this. So she really tried to convince Ashley to get it. So I was like, I'll get it. I'll just go ahead and get it on my account, and then she can play it on my account, and I can also play it and stuff. And then so far, Ashley has played it for about 10 minutes, but while some friends were over to like kind of get the lay of the land, and the first 10 minutes are pretty much the most boring a game can be. Yes. So that was a terrible representation. So today I had to convince her, like, hey, I think, totally up to you, but I think it's worth giving it a fair shot. Just like
play it for, I'd say Pokemon, like to get it, play it for like 2 hours.
Yeah. Probably like first gym, you know, like if you get through the first gym, then that's
I think for people that are playing their first Pokemon game, 2 hours, reasonable for first gym.
Yeah. Very true. So yeah, so far that's yet to happen again. But in the meantime, I've been playing it and I'm enjoying it. And progress wise, I just beat the first gym. So I haven't barely played very much at all. But this might be fun to do. I don't know. Maybe I'll start posting these on Twitter or something. I'm naming all of my Pokemon pun-ish things, but they're like a couple like sort of lateral puns.
So like Pokemon names, but not their actual name.
So not even that. It's like, for example, if I got a Badoo who eventually will evolve into Rosalia and then into Rosa Raid. And so I named it Twitch, because a Twitch raid was this. So like a lot of them are things like that, or like I got a Graveler and I called him Smeagol because Golem and Gollum, that kind of thing. So maybe I'll start posting some of those on Twitter and see if people can like piece together what it is. Probably most of them aren't even that fun or smart or anything. They're just ones that I'm like, oh, that's fun to me. So, you know, works out. Trev mentioned that they're already puns.
You called Rosalia and Rosalia. It's true, but that's what I'd said. That's why I said Pokemon Pokemon names that are just not their names, because their names are already puns.
That's so true. They are puns.
But anyway, I too
which
am
is why we all
Pokemon.
love them. Yes.
I too am playing Pokemon. I beat it. I beat the game, dude. It was hype. It was very hype. So most of the game when I was playing Pokemon, I don't think we talked about because we didn't do a podcast last week. So we didn't really talk about me playing the game at all. So we didn't talk about anything about the rationale that I've been having with this game. So it's like the whole controversy about like the experience share that always happens every time because gamers recycle the same outrage.
Yeah. Right.
I'm like, I love it because I can train 42 Pokemon and it's great. Yep. But there's a certain point in the game because Gen 4 is terrible, specifically. There's a certain point in the game where the game's like, oh,
which is funny because it's your number one on that.
Yeah, but that's because Heart Gold Soul Silver. That's because Heart Gold Soul Silver. But I mean, when I say Gen 4 is terrible, I mean Sinnoh specifically.
Yeah, right.
Gen 4 being Sinnoh, its structure, its story, etc., so on and so forth, terrible. But everything else about that generation, like what it introduced and all that stuff, pretty cool. But none of that is relevant in a Sinnoh remake because it's Gen 8. But it's Sinnoh story structure, etc., so on. So it's Gen 4, but all the bad stuff that was relevant in Gen 4. And you can't really give it any, you can't give Sinnoh a plus because Gen 8, has good mechanics. As far as like battling and all that other stuff. But anyway, yeah, the structure of the game sucks because like most of the game, it was fine. I was just using whatever Pokemon I caught. Like there's multiple times in gyms where the main Pokemon I used to beat the gym leader was a Pokemon I caught minutes ago. But once you get to Gen 6, was it Gen 6 or was it Gen 7? It was Gen 7. Gen 7 or Gym. I mean, Gym. Gym 7.
When you're playing Gen 4 and you get to Pokemon Sun and Moon, man,
yes, it's so hard, dude. But anyway, no. When you get to Gym 7, the difficulty just goes whoop, and then Gym 8 is like whatever, and then you go to Elite 4 and it's like, oh, we know how to EV train. We're giving our Pokemon competitive items. Their attacks is crazy. Like it's like it goes from casual Pokemon to like Elite 4 level of a regular Pokemon game to like competitive VGC level strats out of nowhere. So it made what was already pretty bad in regular Sinnoh games even worse by being like, oh, you want Pokemon games to be hard? We're going to make them hard, like it's less hard because it's like the game sets you up for that, and more hard because it very doesn't. So it's like you get sideswiped by it because you're going through the game like normal, but these trainers have EV trained competitive Pokemon, so you have to either be way stronger than them level wise, way smarter than them in terms of like what attacks you use all the items in the world, or train your Pokemon the same way as you go throughout the game. And I did most of, I don't know what the second thing, like in a list, I know former is like the beginning, or it's like the thing that you said, like the first thing you said, and the latter is like the immediate thing to that. But anyway, I was just smarter than them. I was like, there was so many times where like literally I went into the Elite 4 because Trev said that he was going to give subs if I beat the Elite 4 without using any revives. So I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, I don't really want to look into like what Pokemon they have and like what their items are and their attacks and stuff like that, because that feels like cheating to me. He eventually said that it's not cheating and like I should do that, but I went in there not knowing anything and just looking at the Pokemon. I was like, they're probably going to do this, they probably have this item, she's probably going to switch here, and I was right so much. Like you can go to the VOD and see it. And it was like, and still, even without any revives, because of how I was going through most of the game, half of my team was under leveled. None of my team, except for one Pokemon, was even on par. But there was like, I had like two Pokemon that were like a little bit lower than everybody else. I had one Pokemon that was like on par with Cynthia's Pokemon, and then everybody else was like 10 levels or lower than everything. And I still almost beat it on my first like real attempt. So then I didn't do that, and I couldn't do it that day, but I came back and I did another attempt, and I canned that first attempt because I was like, I'm going to lose. I know I'm going to lose at this pace. So I'm just cutting it off here and trying again. And then I think it took me like 3 tries after that of being like, okay, well, I shouldn't do this here. I should use this attack on this Pokemon, blah, blah. Long story short, I did it without any revives. And on that last run, I barely used any healing items either.
Nice.
So it's like, if you know what's up and your Pokemon are like leveled fine, you can do it. It's not like impossible or even really, again, hard if you know Pokemon. But it is hard if you don't, I would say.
And like healing items and revives like in battle or like between battles and stuff as well? That you didn't use any.
I used them, and it depended on the situation. Like a lot of times I didn't really have to use revive, especially in the last run. I didn't really have to use like healing items in battle, because like I would just use like one Pokemon that would tank everything and not really get hit at all. So I didn't really need to. But in between battles, I'll be like, all right, what's their health like? Like, do they have PP, all that stuff. So mostly in between battles, but somewhat during battles too.
Gotcha. Nice, man. Well, that's a fun time. I'm looking forward to getting there and stuff, because like I haven't really done...
hold on, I gotta add one more important part about beating Cynthia. So I got to Cynthia and I was like her Garchomp. I beat all her Pokemon. All my Pokemon were alive and fine, but really the only real chance I had against her Garchomp was my Empoleon, because he has Ice Beam and he like except for Earthquake, he like does the best against Garchomp's attacks.
What type is Garchomp? Even ground and
dragon.
And dragon. Oh, interesting.
So I was like, if I get hit with Earthquake, I'm probably going to die. But I got hit by Earthquake one of the turns or whatever, and my Pokemon lived it because friendship. And then I hit him with Ice Beam, and then I got hacks. So Garchomp got frozen, and then that was it from there. It was game. It was like I lived your attack because game cheated. But then again, and that's another part of the Elite Four. They cheat so much. They super cheat, because
like in what way?
Like moves that have good accuracy will miss 7 times in a row just because.
Oh yeah, right.
Like that sort of stuff. Like the Elite Four super cheats in this video game. But I overcame, and I cheated too by using their rules. So yeah, everything's great. And now I'm doing post-game stuff, like completing my Pokedex and eventually shiny hunting.
For what it's worth, I feel like I'm kind of fine with okay, going back to like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, when you fight the legendaries in that, they just make them stronger for whatever. Actually, I think it's Sword and Shield that did that too, right? Pretty sure. So it's like, it's just a stronger version of Mewtwo or whatever than whatever you catch is.
Right.
Personally, I'm totally down for that, because it makes it like as the single player part of the game, because that, just is.
I mean,
makes that part like feel like an event more than it would.
I think
otherwise.
It's a flawed approach to make some of the game hard and the rest of the game easy, especially when the rest of the game being easy applies in between when it's hard too. It's not just like, okay, the game's easy, the game's hard from here on. It's like the game's easy for a long time, it's hard for a little bit, it's easy again, it's hard for a little bit, it's easy for the rest of it for all time. And when the game is math, that's a terrible way to do it, because it's like you're like, okay, well, the answer here is to make my number bigger than their number, and then you do that, and then the next number that you fight that's not as big, because they're not the Sinnoh champion, it's like, well, this is frictionless now.
Honestly, I guess less, like in my mind, the perfect way to do it is less making it harder and more somehow making it eventful, to where it's like, it feels like
the only way to do it is to change the battle system, because making the game math makes the game uninteresting. But
man, what a time. But yeah, Pokemon, it's a fun old time. If we can pause real quick, I'll be back in just a minute.
Press the pause button. BRB, everybody. We are back.
We're back.
I was talking about math and Pokemon.
And you're comparing it just now to Breath of the Wild having more complex interactions between things, like if something's wet, lightning does more to it, that kind of a thing. And then you were saying like, oh, but kids think of the children and playing games and stuff. I mean, for sure. Like my worship pastor, I think his 9-year-old daughter like well, I don't know. Like I know a bunch of like kids that have played Breath of the Wild that are like 5, 7, 9, whatever.
Right.
And maybe didn't do great at it, but did enough to understand those kind of interactions at least.
Right.
But man, I don't even remember the main point I was going to make. All that to say, I agree.
I mean, part of it is like kids aren't as stupid as everybody assumes that they are. And also, like, just because something is complex on the back end doesn't mean that it has to be to the player.
I remember what I was going to say now, too. And also that, like, on the flip side, that's assuming that the current Pokemon type system, especially, just makes all this sense in the world, because it doesn't. Like,
it doesn't. Absolutely.
All of the things, I'm sure you could think of an example why they came to that conclusion, why this is effective against that and not, that kind of stuff, for sure. Right. But as knowing multiple adults who are plenty smart and have tried to get into Pokemon recently, they just use the fact that it says super effective down there. Right. They can't remember the whole type chart of, like, I mean, even
and then you also have situations like Bob, where he'll hear the thing where it's like, oh, water conducts electricity, and he like overthinks that, and he's like, water doesn't, it's the stuff in the water and blah blah blah. It's like, first of all, shut up. Like, he's not wrong, but he's wrong. Like, it's like, yeah. But yeah, no, like it's all about the rules that you present in your world. Like, people see stuff like that Ash meets Brock example, and they say that it doesn't make sense because of the logic presented in the game, not the logic that actually exists either in that world or in the real world. Like erosion exists, stuff like that, and like vice versa. It's like there's water also has negative effects on electrical things, So it's like,
and I mean, I think it has to be a ground up thing too. Cause like, I mean, even just looking at talking in the chat where Alex said more things should be weak to rock, and Justin said rock is OP enough. LOL. Like, I think it has to be a ground up thing, because otherwise that becomes, if you just try to tweak any things like that, then that becomes balancing problems.
Right. But that's the thing. Like, the thing about balancing is you add and you take away to balance things out. It's like their current answer is too simple, where it's like right now rock is OP, so they nerf that by making other things, by making rock worse than it should be, and making other things better in that interaction than it should be, rather than like making everything, like balancing it. So something that I'm always talking about is like a good way to balance out interactions like that and make some Pokemon better, or every Pokemon viable on some level, is by adding an action element to it, where it's like, I may not be able to beat you in the math of it all, but I can outplay you, I can outspace you, I can outthink you, like physically. Like in a fight, like there's definitely situations where it's like, oh, this dude weighs 100 more pounds than this other guy, and he's a foot taller, but he still got beat up because the other guy is a black belt in Taekwondo or whatever. Right. Like,
I mean, essentially, it's to some degree, there needs to be a rock, paper, scissors, not just in types, but in like directions, or like the ways to go about something, which maybe already just adding the change of the agile versus strong, whatever things in Legends Arceus, maybe that'll achieve some of that. I don't know, where like it's an extra toggle that like kind of switches up how you do things.
Right.
But yeah, for sure. I think it's, I don't know. Lots of thoughts there, but definitely it's worth them rethinking some of that and seeing what makes more sense in universe. But it is tough, because especially within universe, like more and more probably the anime, I mean, I'd guess, I don't watch the anime very much,
the anime and all obeys of the media
some of the rules of the games in a way that then, like, as opposed to like using the Brock example from from Kanto and stuff, we could use that as an example to change Pokemon based off of that, but fewer and fewer examples in the anime probably would be something that would contradict the game, I guess.
No, they do it a lot. They still do it a lot. Well, there you go. the game, I mean, the anime definitely prioritizes more like a Breath of the Wild style of logic than Pokemon, where it's like and they have to, because that's the only way that they can make every Pokemon viable. And it's like they're not getting that. They're not like, oh shoot, Pokemon matter. I mean, Pikachu matters in the anime and is like a threat when we need it to be, because we allow for that. Whereas
Mhm.
in the actual games, you're like discouraged from using the like core value of the game to most people that play it. Like most people that play Pokemon because Pokemon look cooler or are cute. And
Mhm.
most people are not playing Pokemon and being like, I want to have a competitive team, and that means that I mathematically have 8 options. Every other option would not be great here because math is absolute. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited to see where it goes. Like, I mean, already seeing the stuff in Legends Arceus is at least hopefully kind of encouraging that they're trying some stuff out. So we'll see. I mean, obviously, this wasn't ever going to be the game where they were going to change anything about that.
yeah, of course
You
not.
know, it's a remake, but like, yeah, as we go forward, fingers crossed.
Baby steps.
Baby steps indeed. It is a fun old time. But yeah, that's that game. I'll keep playing it. I'll let people know how it goes. And yeah, I'll post some names on Twitter, I guess, and see if anybody see what people come up with. The only annoying thing is, well, I guess I could send them to my phone and then do a thread from there. I wish you could continue a thread from your Switch directly, but I don't think you can do that. No. Oh well. Nevertheless, you playing any other games?
I mean, I'm pretty sure this is an embargo. If I get
I don't
in
think it
trouble for
is.
this,
Oh no, I saw a review for it yesterday. So
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
you're
I
good.
think isn't the game out? It's like
It is
out.
Correct.
But Death's Door on Switch, I like messed around with that a little bit, and I was like, I want to stream this, so I stopped playing it because I want to stream it. It's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Don't have a whole lot to say because I played a little bit. I like literally played the intro part, and I was like, I like how this game feels. I want to stream it. I'm leaving here.
Nice.
And I stopped. Other than that,
It looks like a cool game. Yeah, I mean, from
regular
the little
stuff,
bits that I've seen. So
Smash and whatnot.
yeah, smashing and whatnot. I I logged into Animal Crossing uh, a couple, I don't know, last week, earlier this week, something like that. And when I just to do some dailies, which I'm doing a lot fewer of now. Like I'm pretty much stopped playing Animal Crossing, I think, again. At least for now. Like I just don't have energy and time to play quite as often as I'd like to. So when I do, there's more specific things that I feel like doing, things that are a little more tactile than Animal Crossing is, which is just kind of like, big picture fun, but not minute to minute fun. And when I've only got 15 minutes, I'd rather do a minute to minute fun kind of thing.
Right.
So, but in any case, logged on some point early in the week, one of my Islanders was like, "Hey, can I leave?" And I said, "Go for it." But I couldn't remember if I'd logged in again since then.
True. That's true.
And there's a
Alex said we saw you log in while AJ was streaming. True. Call it in 4K.
Was that yesterday?
I don't remember when, but
if it was yesterday, then it was the time where I was like so hesitant to log in because there's a thing that I'm going to be doing at some point that's going to require me that you know about and nobody else does yet to go and find various islanders on or villagers or whatever on like mystery islands and stuff. But I couldn't remember how many times I'd logged in. And if this was the day that I was going to have to do that, in which case I was like, oh, I'll have to plan accordingly and then stay up late and just go do that. Or if this was the day that they like Punchy's last day on my island. And so I logged in and just like crossed my fingers and sure enough, it was his last day. So that means like now the next time I log in has to be the time that like I've got, I'm going to record some footage and stuff like that. But it was very stressful 2 minutes there of like, do I log in? Do I not log in? But no, and it was all because Xeon and I got together. Oh yeah, I guess I played some other stuff. Xeon and I got together and played some games yesterday just for fun.
Nice.
And it went very well. We have a good time hanging out. And but so I wanted to like do that to see like if you wanted to come to my island or we went to each other's island or something like that. If that was the activity we were going to do, then the island would be I would know that ahead of time and just go ahead and open it up, but also make the island slightly presentable. We didn't end up doing that, so it didn't even matter. But we ended up playing your favorite, a bunch of N64 games.
Terrible. Why would you? So
quick reviews of some of those. The first one we played was Winback, which neither of us had ever played before.
Played that. I still barely know what it is.
I will tell you. Well, so okay, I'd loaded it up one time like when NSO, the N64 games came out.
How dare you pay for that? I can't believe you crossed the picket line, dude.
Pretty much the worst. So I pulled it up one time, tried shooting one guy, died, turned it straight off. I was like, nope, this game garbage. Played it with Xeon. I think we would both agree, game is still garbage. It's like tank controls, and like the versus mode, because it's multiplayer, but it's just versus multiplayer. It's like just really small arena kind of a thing, where it's just like, I don't know, there's, you know, a couple pillars and some TNT boxes and a room or two maybe, and then you just walk around and you like stop and shoot, like, and it's inverted controls, like helicopter or like plane controls or whatever you call that.
Is it inverted like just the like up and down, or is it invert like left and right?
I don't remember. I think it's all inverted. I want to say up and down. Yeah.
Disgusting.
Could be wrong about that. I just remember being bad at it. So, but we played that a bit, and I don't know.
Justin said N64 was bad enough the first time around. I don't need a second visit. That's a fact.
Yeah, this game definitely falls in that camp. I don't know why it's on it, so, but it is. So it is. There you go. Played that. And then we played some Mario Kart 64, which was much better.
That's a better game.
I'm pretty bad at Mario Kart 64 because I just never played that
that's
one.
The only thing that's good about that.
No, we played.
The physics are not as good, obviously, as Mario Kart 8, but Block Fort is fun.
Yeah, it is a good time. We played the Mushroom Cup, and I think he got third and I got fourth, and then
you ain't even play Block Fort.
Nope,
both blocked.
Both
of y'all are blocked.
But no, we had a good time with that, and then played Star Fox 64 versus, which I've played Star Fox 64 all of one time in my entire life before that. So I was also very bad at it.
Controls, but
true.
It makes more sense.
Oh yeah, it does make more sense. That one was less. Yeah, I got accustomed to it a lot faster. But yeah, so there you go. Played some of those, and yeah, N64, man. What a time.
It's true. Speaking of that,
though.
that segue is perfect.
We're
going to talk about for the main topic, but I feel like Pokemon's probably, I don't know. I'll figure it out and when I'm making a thumbnail and whatnot. But anyway, N64 games, dude.
Yep. First main bit is Paper Mario is coming, you know, next week and stuff on the 10th, the day after the Game Awards, I believe. Pretty sure. So that's, you know, needs. Are you going to stream the Game Awards?
I don't know if I'm streaming it on fanatixfour, but I'd assume that I'll be like hanging out with Bob when he streams it. I don't know.
Gotcha.
We'll figure it out.
I don't know what I'm doing for it. Maybe Ashley will want to watch it and then we'll watch it together. I don't know. We'll see. In any case, Paper Mario is coming out next week, and that's fun. That's the news bit in and of itself. Everything else from this is not news, but is topics related to that piece of news. So first of all, any opinions on Paper Mario coming?
Cool. I'll play it. I've played it before. It's like one of the Paper Marios that people are like, this is the acceptable Paper Mario. And I like it fine. It's all right. I might stream it. I don't know if I'll finish it on stream, but who knows? We'll see if people like it.
I mean, my first Paper Mario was Origami King last year. And so, yeah, I've never played this one before. So
now you had the opportunity to play it and also become a hater.
Yes.
Yes, I always waited to be a hater.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm glad that's coming. But the topic around it, the discourse, as it were, that'll then lead us into some of the other stuff are these games just going to come out one a month? Like, is it going to take a whole year for the 9 games that we know are coming to come out?
True.
I don't know. You know.
Wait, when did this was that last month?
No, it was. I mean, it's less than 1 a month at this pace. I think it was
about
October. Yeah, it was October when it came. It was the end of October.
Yeah,
so
true.
You know.
True.
Yeah,
but that's I mean, it's still like less than that because like this is like close to mid-December at that point. At the 10th, you're 5 days away from mid-December.
Yeah, so I mean, it's close to 2 months at that point. Yeah, so I mean, honestly, just Parker's perspective, I don't really care that much. It's fine. I'm fine to wait. We've been waiting.
Oh,
for
you're
these games
talking
for a while.
about, I thought you were talking about Paper Mario. I was about to say, damn.
Oh no,
fired.
yeah. I mean, Paper Mario is exciting, but like as far as like getting these games, in a timely manner and
they're
stuff.
making us. They're forcing us to wait. We're starved for content, and they're making us wait for the games that we've had for the past 2 to 3 decades.
Yeah.
Insanity
Indeed. Yeah.
The humanity. Okay.
So honestly, the real thing I wanted to talk about this, because I don't have enough opinions on that part of the conversation to really care, because it's like, whatever, they'll come when they come. But we know that from a data mine, it seems like we know that there's 38 N64 games that are coming. And this is where it gets interesting, is we've got this chart. And as it's who's here, I'm going to share my screen and then we'll
Parker loves charts, dude.
I do love a good chart. No, don't look at this.
You leaked it.
Oh no. Mondo Mega, posted this and said initial data mining from the N64 app is somewhat fruitful. Going to be the same, or going by the game IDs, there are at least 38 N64 titles planned for NSO. The list is alphabetical, so you can fill in some of the gaps already. And 37 is Majora, 32 is Smash, 33 is Wave Race, 14 through 16 is Mario Party, etc.
Yo, it's late. I'm gonna beat so many people up in Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo 64 with Star Fox.
You surely are. So that is exactly what we're gonna take them up on the offer, and we're gonna fill in some gaps, because I don't know. I just thought that would be fun to do. So I've got a list here on Wikipedia.
Oh yeah, true. Put the chart in the chat.
Oh yeah.
There is a chart chant in the chat for listeners of the show that are not currently here.
Send.
Discord in the description.
There you go, everybody.
So you too could be a chanter of charts.
Perfect. So here we go. Everybody can follow along. And here it is. Honestly, this is going to be a bit tricky, because like some of these, I wish this was, can I fill out this PDF somehow? I can probably type in here somewhere. I wish this was an Excel spreadsheet, but I didn't get this in here in time. So, here we go. Markup tool.
Lackluster chart, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I agree with this.
I don't have many opinions on charts, if I'm being honest. It's
not. Oh, text box. Haha. Brilliant.
Oh, I could have talked about that in the what I've been playing section. I found a chart. Well, actually, I found this chart a long time ago. A spreadsheet of like Pokemon, like specifically Squirtle combos, because Squirtle's obnoxious. And I've been practicing that. But we're in the wrong section.
Charts actually helped you, and you're so happy now. That's what we know.
Helping me, dude. Spreadsheet.
Wow.
But I mean, not really, because I'm just taking all the information out of the spreadsheet and putting it in a note on my phone.
But so if the spreadsheet didn't exist, you probably nothing would be good in this world.
Just message a Pokemon trainer player or something.
All right, cool. I'm getting some text boxes here. There we go. That's enough for now, and I'll put them more in as we go. And let's just go through this alphabetical list. Obviously, not going through every single one of them, but like
the ones that matter.
The ones that matter, and then chucking them in here, and doing that. So straight up the gate, right in here towards the beginnings, 1080 snowboarding. I bet that's number one.
Yeah.
So I'm putting that in there as number one.
That would be a weird misplay to like not have that. I feel like.
Can I select all these? Yes. And then put all those. Yeah. Okay. And move. Oh my goodness. Come on. This thing is
spreadsheets. You know what I mean?
It's not a spreadsheet though. If it were, then we'd be in business. But this is dumb PDFs. Nobody knows a PDF.
No, this is hurting my brain because the way that the formatting on the other games, like they're left aligned and you have them like center aligned.
I do, and it's because the text box is, I mean, I could probably, there we go. Let me undo all of that and then just make all of these be left aligned. There you go.
Nice.
Are you happy now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Me too. All right, so let's see. The tricky thing is there's going to be all these like third-party
You still
games.
got 1080 snowboarding in the center. Nice.
Now you're happy. This is going to be a very like everybody just buckle in because this is just going to be a nice relaxing.
It's true. It's fine. We don't have comments,
episode.
so
we don't. I'm just going to scroll through. Let me know if you see anything because none of this like automobile Lamborghini. Although there are third-party games that get added.
We got a spreadsheet from Mark.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, I believed in you, and you came through, Mark. All right, cool. A Google Doc and everything. What a champ.
It's true. Let's put Paper Mario where it's at first.
Okay, cool.
Because we do know that that's a thing that exists.
So close that one out because that was the dumbest non-chart we've ever imagined.
True.
Put this over here. Yeah, you love to see it. Likelihood. That's great. I'm here for that. Okay, so Paper Mario, where do we say that's going to be? I guess we don't know. Yeah.
Well, oh yeah, true. We gotta wait.
So somewhere in here we'll put Paper Mario. Here is probably going to be Wave Race whenever we get to it. Like the ones that were mentioned in that tweet. 33 is 33 is Wave Race. Oh yeah, I guess so because
because before went back
Wave Race. 37 is Majora's Mask. Yeah, that makes sense. Zelda, Majora's Mask. 32 is Smash. I'm putting them there because I mean maybe we'll pick something. No, that one's definitely gonna be there. Super Smash Bros. And 14 to 16 is Mario Party. Party 1, Mario Party 2, Mario Party 3.
Nice.
Mario Part 2. Mario Part 2.
Yo, the long awaited.
Indeed. All right. And then let's go from the top. So 1080 snowboarding.
Yep.
Definitely coming. But yeah, these are the ones that are like the third-party games like Winback. Like I wouldn't have just put Winback in here probably.
Is Banjo already on there?
Banjo is not on here. So we definitely adding
Banjo,
that.
Yeah.
Banjo-Kazooie.
And Banjo-Tooie. I don't know if they said that that's coming, but
they haven't said it, but like, you know,
come on.
I'd rather guess Banjo-Tooie than guess Bassmasters 2000.
True.
Sorry, Bassmasters.
Also, Donkey Kong 64 is not on there.
Oh, and nice. Yep.
I'm pretty sure we know that.
Oh, you know what else? We're gonna move that one down.
Put Diddy Kong.
Diddy Kong Racing.
It's true.
Mega Man would be so proud. Honestly, that's okay. What else before Dr. Mario? Bomberman 64, maybe?
Then we'd have to move Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong.
Yep.
Because that would
because I mean it would, there's just something else within this range before Dr. Mario. Other possible options, something like Buck Bumble or Chameleon Twist. Cruising USA, maybe. Is that more likely than some of these other ones?
We could put that down as like a maybe, and then like if we don't have anything else, Cruises USA.
Cruise that there US of A. Not Doom 64. Okay, so yeah, something before Dr. Mario. Diddy Kong Racing. Where's Donkey Kong? There's Donkey Kong 64.
True. Justin put Conquer.
I just saw that and was thinking the same thing. Conquer's Bad Fur Day. I mean, and again, like for all we know, Clay Fighter could show up, you know, or like something.
Absolutely not. I mean, true. But you know what? That's a good point. That actually sounded like a meme for a second, but a lot of the games that we get in the like towards the end are memes. So
yeah, right.
And even like in the middle, sometimes like they just throw out like, hey, you guys never win back.
Yeah.
You got win back. That's a meme.
So I of these four, because those four seem all like equivalently likely, kind of.
Wait, do we we should probably pull up like best selling too, like best selling
Oh
N64
yeah.
games too. That's probably a good thing to cross reference.
Yep.
We're going deep here.
And then just
this
put
is what we
them.
could do when we don't have comments.
All right, somewhere between here, we're just gonna put GoldenEye. We don't know where yet because we haven't, or we'll just move them alphabetically when they make sense. I'll put it in the middle for now. GoldenEye. We're just assuming that's gonna happen.
They gotta.
Pokemon
Amazon has
Stadium.
to do they have to finish the acquisition, and then it'll probably be easier.
Wait, what? Amazon's acquiring what?
Amazon's acquiring MGM.
Really? Oh, interesting.
Yep.
I wonder if that makes it easier or harder for those kinds of things.
I'd assume easier.
We know about Pokemon Snap, right?
Because like then it's just Amazon and Rare, and they're already cool with Rare. They're already homies. Pokemon Snap, sure, we do know about that. But what if Pokemon Stadium 2? That'd be cool.
Wave Race 64. Okay, sorry, I'm not saying these things out loud. I should be. That's the whole point of this. It's a podcast. Yeah, so the things that I've added, I put GoldenEye because that's the number 3 best-selling game. Put that between Dr. Mario and Mario Kart. We don't know where exactly, but we'll find out. Oh, G comes before K, of course. I haven't seen it yet show up on the best-selling, but like Mario Golf, 100% showing up before Mario Kart. But like, of course, they're going to wait until after Mario Golf on the Switch, is doing its thing.
Yep.
Mario Golf Superstars, is that what it's called? Super Rush.
Yes. Superstars is something else. That's Mario Party.
That's Party. Right. All right. As we go down, most of these we already know about. So like Diddy Kong Racing, Star Fox 64.
Wait, dude, Excite Bike.
We have not put that on here yet.
I feel like
Excite Bike for sure. Excite Bike 64. Mario Tennis, Perfect Dark, maybe. I mean, again, like it's a question of like how open is Rare to some of this kind of stuff. Well, Microsoft, I guess, more specifically, but I'll put it there. We'll find out.
Justin said Pokemon Stadium with home support. That would be sick.
That would be super cool.
For that.
I think we already know about Kirby coming, so that's there. Cruising USA is one of the top selling ones, so that seems pretty likely to. I'm gonna temporarily put that in there as in that top section. Cool. Okay, as we go down the list, we got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, not coming. F1 World Grand Prix, no. Why?
Nah.
Turok, man, crazy that F1 World Grand Prix sold better than Mario Golf and Paper Mario.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I guess at the time that was
Kobe
also
Bryant had an N64 game.
Truly me neither.
No clue.
Jet Force
Gemini?
Oh. Maybe. I'll put it over here.
Wait. Where would that go? Nah, I don't know about that.
Because it would be in this
like
section.
Before, yeah. Yep, it would be like GoldenEye and then Jet Force Gemini.
There's not enough spots in there for it. Yeah. Pilot Wings, though, we don't already know about that one, do we?
No, but
that
probably
seems like Pilot Wings 64. We do know about F-Zero X. Oh, and there we go. F-Zero X. This right here, I feel like that's like
a pretty good guess. Yeah.
I mean, the only ones that are like
we already know about Kirby, and we know about Mario Golf too, right?
We don't know about Mario Golf.
No, I'm thinking Mario Tennis. We already have.
Yep, we do already have. So Kirby for sure. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. So this one for sure is going to be there, and then this one's for sure going to be there. Those are way too bright of colors. That's still something. Okay, there you go. That's better. Then these three, I mean, we assume, but maybe that's all that there can be between Mario Kart and Mario Tennis. Like if we look alphabetically, is there anything else besides the three? Mario Kart, nope, that's it. Unless Mario no Photopea, whatever that is. So it's definitely those.
I mean,
Mario.
that could be like, well, actually, I don't know what it is. I don't know if you need like attachments or something like that. But like, if you don't need any sort of like weird attachments for whatever that game is, I could see them doing that.
I think you do. Fuji photo.
Oh
film.
yeah, nah. Rip.
So maybe not.
None of that.
But yeah, like we know for sure about Pokemon Snap and Banjo-Kazooie and some other ones. And Paper Mario is already here. So there we go. This was on 12/10/2021. And then that same color. All right. So we've got a couple of gaps still that we need to fill. And
Pokemon
some of them might
Puzzle League.
Yep. That makes sense. Pokemon Puzzle League. Was there anything else here?
I mean, if they're cool, they do Pokemon Stadium too, but I don't think they're cool.
I don't think they're cool either. Yeah, looking at this list, like alphabetically in the top selling ones, I don't see anything else between M and S that's gonna happen. Yeah, because it would be before Sin and Punishment too, so it couldn't even be Star Wars. So this means we're not getting Star Wars games because we already have them on Switch, so we don't really.
True, we already have Star Wars Racer.
Mm-hmm. So now, basically, I mean, we can go through the alphabetic list and just go from Mario Tennis onwards and see what's after Mario Tennis. Yeah. It's Mario Tennis. I mean, Mega Man 64. Honestly,
do we have Mega Man games on Switch Online?
We no, we don't.
There's not really anywhere that Mega.
But there's
Man
a Mega
fits.
Man collection.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know where Mega Man fits outside of Switch Online. So maybe
specifically the 64 one. Yeah.
Yeah, like as far as them putting it in their own collection, I don't know where it would fit. Yep. So like, why not just let them use Mario 64 for Switch Online?
Yeah, totally. Agreed. Okay, a bunch of these.
Mickey, Speedway, USA.
Mission Impossible. Monopoly. Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. I could see that one for
that's
sure.
That's a meme pick. That's it's like the sort of thing that they know like a small group of people, including Duncan.
Duncan are very excited about.
Very, very hyped for. But everybody else is like, what is this game?
Yep. Very true. What is interesting is because people are paying extra for this, Winback starting at like, especially looking at this list now that we're kind of building it out, and like that between Dr. Mario and Mario Kart, it's like such obvious picks for most of them. It seems like, again, unless GoldenEye's not in there, which is possible, and then something else random could maybe fill that gap or something. Most of these are like just hitting the highlights because people are paying extra for this.
Yep.
I'm guessing. So it's like, it makes sense that they don't want to have too many disappointing ones. But even in that, I could see the Mystical Ninja starring Goemon filling that kind of gap of like, some people are so excited that it's kind of infectious a little bit of like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's a big deal and I didn't know, that kind of thing. But luckily that means probably not that many like NBA Hang Time. I mean, maybe that's a good game. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. But I feel like NBA game, like stuff like that, is like the licensing. I don't know if you want to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Is there anything before Paper Mario that seems particularly likely?
Pilot Wings.
I don't see anything.
There's so many NBA games.
Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Of course, that's relevant right now.
Yeah, I don't see anything down here that. Oh, that's Ogre Battle 64, maybe.
I've heard of that game.
I've also heard of that game. I'm gonna put it in there. we can take it out if something kind of would bump that back, video things. So, all right. And then Paper Mario and yeah, Perfect Dark makes sense as being there. Did I not put Pilot Wings in here?
You did put Pilot Wings.
I thought I put it somewhere. Where did I?
You did. It's right.
Oh, it's up there. Gotcha. I put it in. It's
Yeah.
alphabetically wrong. So that was
Paperboy. It's Paperboy on the.
Of course, Paperboy.
I don't know if it's of course because I don't know if Paperboy's. You don't know Paperboy? It's crazy. No. It's you ride around on a bike, you throw papers into people's windows and stuff. Well, actually, that's not the goal, but you can. I never played on the N64 though. I don't know what the N64 game is like. That's crazy that you never heard of Paperboy. That's crazy.
I mean, seeing it, it's vaguely familiar. Like yeah. Oh man, this is like the worst part of N64. Like just that whole thing. Oh man, look at that.
It's true. Beautiful. It's terrible. But the original game is cool.
Nice.
I don't actually think it's happening though.
Yeah, right. Agreed. Okay, so let's see. So Paper Mario, Perfect Dark, maybe, question mark. Pilot N64, maybe. Pokemon Puzzle League. Wait, how is Pokemon Puzzle League before? Oh, I mean, because alphabets, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
So, all right, Pokemon Puzzle League, probably. Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Stadium. I mean, maybe Pokemon Stadium too, but we'll keep going. And if we need a gap to be filled still, then we can do that.
Yep.
Okay, so now we've got a gap of 2 before Sin and Punishment. One of these, here's my 2 guesses off the bat without looking at the list.
Rayman 2,
and Quest 64. Those are my guesses, but let's see if anything else feels like it overrides that. Rugrats Scavenger Hunt, of course.
Of course, dude.
I mean, Ridge Racer 64, maybe.
I definitely had Rugrats in Paris, the movie, but I had that on Windows 2000 or whatever. Yeah, Windows 2000.
Nice.
Yo, dude, y'all didn't know.
I
hate Windows because I was a PC gamer, dude. Played Rugrats, the movie.
As well you should. Okay. So here's the likely candidates, in my opinion, between those
that's
two.
True. Quake 64.
I mean, maybe,
but then again, I could see them like wanting to like release that on their own.
Because didn't they just release Quake?
They did Doom.
What
Quake?
I think they also did Quake recently. Because I think it was MVG that did it.
Yes.
And that is that one, right? Quake
64. I think I don't know if it's the same thing.
Oh yeah, maybe that's like Doom 64 is different from PC Doom.
I think that like Quake is like that era, like the original Doom sort of thing. I don't think it's
gotcha. Okay, so yeah, that's definitely still an option then. Yeah, I don't see anything else.
I'd put Quake in the like maybe like the maybe side for sure.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, so here's which 2 of these do we want to commit to between Pokemon Stadium and Sin and Punishment? Options
Quest 64 feels like something. I know.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And like, again, as one of those that's like, man, this is our own IP, and like, let's go ahead and just stick it somewhere because for them, they're. Whereas we're trying to barely fit in these slots, that's not how they're operating. They're just
like they just like pick the games.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They weren't like, all right, we need a Q game. What's the Q game?
Exactly. So but then these ones, between Rayman, Ridge Racer 64, SimCity 2000, Quake 64, all of those feel like pretty plausible to me.
Yeah, I think that like I feel like the bigger crowd pleaser would be Rayman 2.
I agree. That's what I'm going for.
But I also feel like that's why they can't. but I don't know.
I mean, they've got pretty good relationships.
Because I don't know. That's the thing, though. I don't know what Ubisoft's plans are for their like retro catalog. It doesn't feel like they care that much.
Yeah, right. So far, at least. I'm gonna leave that one in there.
Yeah, we could put
these ones, but I'm with you. There's a lot of reasons why it feels like it might not, and Yeah. Go here. There you go. That's good.
Okay. Do we have any
All
more?
right.
Are we
And
done?
then I
No,
think
wait. No, we have 2 more.
35. That spot's
Oh, we
open.
don't have Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask.
Oh yeah, here you go.
So 1 more.
Zelda Majora's Mask. And then between Winback and Yoshi, we've got.
What options do we have? WWE something or F. Was it F back
Winback,
then?
and then where's Yoshi? So our options are possibly WWE, WF, Wipeout 64, maybe. Worms
it's
Armageddon.
Not WWF.
It's not. Xena, Warrior Princess. That's the one.
That's it. That's the one.
I mean,
I feel
the easy guess is Wipeout.
Yeah, I feel like Wipeout
because it has 64 in the title.
Yeah, that's true.
There is something to be said for like any of the games that have 64 feel like just more likely than some of the other ones because they were like, specifically built for that game or whatever. But yeah, I mean, possibly Worms Armageddon, but probably not. Probably Wipeout 64.
Gotta put spoilers in the title so people don't get spoiled because we're gonna be so right, dude.
We're gonna be so right. Yeah, man, there it is. So there's our list. So okay, alphabetically we've got 1080 snowboarding, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Cruis'n USA, Diddy Kong Racing, Donkey Kong 64. So those are all ones that we're mostly guessing at this point still. Then Dr. Mario for sure, because that's already there.
Yep.
And then Exciteback 64, F-Zero X, GoldenEye maybe, Kirby 64, Mario Kart 64, or Mario Golf 64. And then we know for sure Mario Kart, Mario Parties, Mario Tennis. And then the big question mark section, because it could have been probably a couple different games in here. Mega Man 64, Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, Ogre Battle, and then Paper Mario, which we have.
If we get even one of those right, that'd be hype.
Honestly, yeah, all three of those are kind of risky.
Yeah, like that section. Every other section, it's like I feel like we're probably mostly right here.
Yeah,
that we've been to so far. But this is the first section. I'm like, I don't know about this part.
Yeah, right. I mean, looking at the list, like this is where also it could so easily be like those are the safer third-party picks, but it could so easily be Mortal Kombat 4 or legitimately Monopoly. Like if that was, or whatever, Micro Machine 64
I don't know
Turbo.
I feel like Monopoly is a no.
Probably not. Yeah,
because like they could get like Ubisoft if they give Rayman or whatever, they could give Monopoly. But true. Like Monopoly, like it's definitely not even feels like it's definitely more directly competing with itself now than Rayman would.
Yes, right. Absolutely.
Because like how many advancements could you really have to Monopoly? Like,
yeah. The one, I don't know what this is like licensing wise, but it's possible. I know NFL Blitz was like a big
true
thing in its time.
Well, I don't know if NFL Blitz uses players. Because like if NFL Blitz uses players, that could complicate things. But if it doesn't, maybe
then yeah. Because that's definitely, but I mean, it's also not to say like we still don't have Earthbound, we still don't have, Super Mario RPG and stuff. So it's not to say that we'll get all of the big heavy hitters anyway, but I don't know, we'll see. And then let's see, Perfect Dark, Pilot Wing 64, Pokemon Puzzle League, Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Stadium, Quest 64, Rayman. Some of that still kind of risky. And then down towards the bottom,
the second most shaky section.
Yep. Smash for sure.
Snap and Sin and Punishment specifically.
I mean, like we didn't look at the Wave Race section. That game, I mean, that seems like a shoe-in, but like maybe there's something else in the teas or something that would go instead, like Tetris 64 instead of Wave Race 64, something like that. But I would hope not. And then Winback, Wipeout, Yoshi's Story, Zelda Majora's Mask, and Zelda Ocarina of Time. And that's it. Wow.
There it is, everybody.
We're so good at the future.
Dude, we're so good at the future.
Again, huge shout out. Thanks, Mark, for making the spreadsheet because that's just so much better than having to mess with the PDF. Because spreadsheets are, that's the way that God intended it, with spreadsheets.
Sure.
Or something. There you go. All right, so N64, likewise. N64. We actually here before we move on from that, as we're talking spreadsheets, I'm gonna just. Oh wait, no,
Why you can't save it?
No, I was gonna show just for the funness of it. Where did I put it in here? I moved I have it like Switch Games spreadsheet thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can show this. Just in case people want to see it. Oh, but Mark can't see it, and that's sad because you're in the chat. But here's the spreadsheet that I use to track the games, my Switch games. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, look at that. What a fun time. I've got categories for whether it's completed, in progress, need to start it, or like a pick up and play, or like I'm never playing that again. And whether it's physical or digital, or first, third party or indie, if it's one player or two player when it came out, and then like A tier, B tier, C tier, and all that kind of stuff.
So the darker ones are the ones you beat?
Darker ones are ones I got review codes for. Yeah, so like Steam World Quest, Untitled Goose Game, The Red Lantern, Divinity Original Sin 2. And I only have like specifically ranked, this isn't super up to date, but my top couple of games as far as like my favorite, second favorite, that kind of a thing. But
you got too many A's, dude. Can't be true.
I mean, it is what it is.
Inflation.
I don't even know. Yeah, I mean, probably, yeah. Because I mean, then again, I will say I generally only play games
that you like,
that I know that I'm gonna like to some degree. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of that where like, I mean, most of these, if I look at them, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty for sure. Like Luigi's Mansion and A Short Hike and Octopath Traveler or whatever. Like, yeah, I'd stand by those as A's. But it does, like, when I compare them to other ones in their same tiers, there's sometimes where like these do not belong together in some way. But that's fine. Mm-hmm. There it is for anybody who enjoys spreadsheets and stuff. Now you got to see it.
Spreadsheet stands.
Justin said you have way too much time on your hands. This is one of those things I set it up.
I don't know if he's talking to you or Mark on that. Because he said, I will intentionally go back and watch the YouTube version to see your spreadsheet, Parker. Don't you worry.
That's all I've ever asked for. Yeah, I set it up a while back, and then now it's nice because I can just kind of update it pretty quickly when I get a new game. Or typically it's like it's like every 3 months I'll just put in the last games that I got those 3 months. Mm-hmm. And it's been a fun time. So, but speaking of fun times, next week we're going to, Justin said, and it was for Parker. Thank you. Next week we're going to watch the Game Awards probably, and people will get awarded awards for their games. But maybe probably more fun, to be honest, is we'll see some trailers for other games. But what we will see, that's the question. So yeah, I don't know. Let's talk about Game Awards before
we're going to see Pokemon 2. Finally.
Yes,
after many years, dude. We've been waiting for it.
When's Mega Man 65? There's been so many of them.
I still haven't seen Mega Man 63 through what, 12? So
it's true. They're just on the cutting room floor somewhere, I guess.
Also, they made Mega Man 10 2 times.
It's true. Wait,
is there a Mega Man 10?
Oh yes, yeah. Because Mega Man X, I get it now.
Because there's Mega Man 11. But I don't think I've ever seen Mega Man 10.
I think it was one of the ones.
I just assumed that there was Mega Man 10 and also a Mega Man X because there's Mega Man 11.
Yeah, I think it was one of the ones on. I don't know.
Probably sucked, dude.
That
probably
looked. Like they did the retro thing where it looked like NES Mega Man again, like Mega Man 9 was. I'm pretty sure.
Game probably sucks.
Hey, it's Falcon. What up?
Yo, Falcon, what's up?
We got some friends in here. We love friends. So yeah, so Game Awards, blah blah blah. People are going to win awards and all that stuff. But I posed a question on YouTube community tab. We'll get to the comments for later. Maybe some of them will talk about here. I don't know. I asked people if they thought we would see Breath of the Wild 2, sequel, whatever, Metroid Prime 4, Metroid Prime remake / trilogy, something else, or Nintendo won't announce anything at the Game Awards. And
outrage would ensue.
100%. So 44% said Breath of the Wild 2, 10% Metroid Prime 4, 13% Metroid Prime Remake / Trilogy, 10% something else, and 23% thought Nintendo won't announce anything at the Game Awards, which honestly would not go over well at all.
Yeah, I would be shocked, dude.
I mean, and even by that, you know, like,
because when have they not? I feel like they always announce something. It's not always something that is great, but they always announce something.
I mean, like there was one year, I don't remember if these were the same year, but like, no, it wasn't. But Bravely Default 2 was one time. Marvel Ultimate Alliance, like those aren't Nintendo developed, but they're Nintendo.
I mean, they're part like
published,
games like that. You know, like
that counts.
When there's a Nintendo exclusive that is like published by them, it's nebulous whether it's developed by them or not.
Yeah,
because like first it was Nintendo SPD, like that was the whole point of that division, was to help develop games that were like third-party games. But now EPD helps with games like that. So like Marvel Ultimate Alliance is like developed by Ninja Theory, I think.
Team Ninja,
Ninja Theory? One of those two, with somebody with Ninja in their name.
I think Ninja Theory,
but it's also partially developed by Nintendo EPD.
Team Ninja Theory's Hellblade.
There it is. I knew it was a ninja something, dude.
It's a ninja something.
But yeah, no, like
three ninjas. It's that movie, the 90s movie,
but not entirely.
Did anybody in chat?
Season 3. Yeah. They should. That's what they should do if they were smart, but they're not, so it's fine.
Just a full aside. Did you ever watch the movie Three Ninjas?
Of course not.
Ring any bells?
I don't watch things.
It was like within the vein of like Karate Kid meets Home Alone meets something like that. Pretty much those two. And it's like three brothers that are ninjas and stuff. I mean, they're like 1-7 and the oldest is like 14.
Yo, it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but one brother got lost at birth.
Exactly. It was, I would love to go back and watch it at this point, because probably it was just so bad, but I thought it was so cool at the time. So yeah, it was a good, like truly 90s experience, but you know, that's what childhood's about, is experiencing whatever decade you're living in, I guess. So, but yes, they did Marvel Ultimate Alliance, of course, and yes, it's an exclusive, so it counts. So yeah, I'm with you. There's no way
they're gonna announce
Nintendo
something.
Won't announce something.
Will it be something we like or care about? Who knows? But somebody will. Somebody popped off for Cranky Kong. That was just the first controversy that I remember, that people were like, yo, we're going to get something hype. And they were like, yo, Cranky Kong's coming to Tropical Freeze.
Wait.
Like,
oh, was that at the Game Awards?
Yes. Yep. And people were so angry.
Man, that's very funny.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like as far as like the rumors that are floating around, I feel like the most likely thing is Prime. Because according to a lot of like proven insiders, they're working on a remake for the first Prime game. So yeah, better time than now. We're off the heels of some Metroid Dread hype. Still got people anticipating Metroid Prime 4. Maybe we get a Prime 4 teaser and a Prime original remake announcement, like tied in together.
Yep. I mean, that's the dream, all things considered, like of seeing those. And like, it is funny because I feel like because of how ubiquitous the rumors of Metroid Prime Trilogy at the Game Awards in 2018 were, people are being really quiet about that comparatively. And maybe it's a quiet because it's not happening, or maybe it's a quiet because it's like we don't want to jinx
I think
it.
Metroid Prime Trilogy, or whatever they're doing with Metroid Prime, is like it's like trapped in this like weird nebulous space of like being an easy thing to be like, this is happening, but also hard because all signs are pointing towards it just being done. But it's also one of those games that, like, because Nintendo's known for like finishing a game and being like, we don't need to announce, release or announce this. We'll just hold on to it for years, you know, like.
I mean, in trying to get into Nintendo's brain too, whereas this whole time I've been thinking that more Metroid announcements would help Dread because it would be like Metroid hype. And I think that is true on one hand. they also could be afraid of the opposite, that like if we announce a different Metroid thing, people will be excited for that one and then not get Metroid Dread.
No, I think that it's way like they're Disney. It's way more likely for them to be like, we are going to deprive you of thing to make you want thing even more. But we already got thing. We're excited about thing. So they're like, hey, here's another one of that. It's coming out next year. And here's a tease for the thing that's coming out the year after that.
Yep. It's true. So yeah, I mean, that would be, I would be very excited to see it. I wouldn't be particularly surprised for that reason.
Exactly. That's one of those reveals that like it's hard, because it's like it could very well not happen. But if it happens, it's like, oh well. Like Kirby, right? Like Kirby to me was like, I saw that and I was like, okay, I've been talking about this for forever, that this was gonna like come to Switch in this way. But at the same time, it's like it could have not.
Yeah. So, and it's exciting that it finally is at all. Yeah. I mean,
like,
honestly,
it's hard, like especially like the type of stuff that we focus on. It's hard for me to ever be like super surprised of like, I would have never guessed that they did this, because I probably already talked about them probably doing it.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if we see anything like that, right? Like if we see anything that's like, we never made a video about, like, this would be cool, that would be shocking.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, what
have we not done?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's something, but like even the things that seem kind of outlandish, like, I mean, doing something Mother or doing something like a big Star Fox or whatever, like it would have to be a brand new IP, or I don't know. I just again, like, surprise and excitement aren't that. Surprise that it's happening is different than surprise that it's finally happening. Like, you know what I mean? We're like, it's like when we see something that we wanted to happen or thought was going to happen, it's more relief than it is like, oh my God, it's a thing. It's like, and then seeing like how it's turning out is still like that's its own thing that can exist, I know that's funny. I mean, I could it's just hard to think about that. So, but that said, so that's Metroid. Breath of the Wild 2, what do you think? I think Breath of the Wild 2 is like, it's in a similar place, but I feel like it's less likely than Prime, because we know for where it's at and when it's supposed to come out, arguably too much. So like them showing it again when we're supposed to be getting it next year, and unless it's early next year, it's like I don't know the purpose of showing that again, I'm thinking, unless they're going to do a Pokemon thing where they're like, all right, here's the game, and the game's coming out in November, and from February to November we're showing like sharing bits and pieces, but that doesn't seem like a Zelda type of thing. It doesn't seem like a Zelda type thing. But I think where my mind's at is it depends on what big closers they have for other presentations that they have coming up. And if they like, if say they have a direct in March, for example, maybe they don't, maybe they do, whatever. Or if they have something, the January direct. That's the one, of course. And the November direct that we already missed. Yeah. What a shame. But say they have, a big direct early in the year. If they have something different that they need to promote to like close that out, then, or to like open it up as a big, well, no, not Zelda would not open up a direct. It would close it. That's just how it works, at least as far as I can tell. Then they would want to put Breath of the Wild would not open up. Yes, direct, yes, but exactly. Like very well said. Link to the Past remake, Skyward Sword, Winds Waker. Yeah, Winds Waker, dude. So I think if it's coming out, Windbacker. I think if Breath of the Wild's coming out next year, we don't know that much about it. Like we've seen teasers, but we haven't seen like a real trailer. We don't know the name or anything like that. So they would need to do. There's definitely a lot that we don't know, but I feel like we know too much for when it's probably coming out for them to talk about it again now. Right. Yeah. I don't think that they will reveal that much more unless it's coming out earlier than we think. Yeah. Like if it's coming out in March, now's the time to be like, here's the name. But I doubt it's coming out in March. To me, if it's coming out in holiday, like November, December, then E3 would be too late in their minds for how big of a game it is, like thinking Smash levels kind of thing.
If I agree with that, I feel like
I don't know either,
that's
honestly.
like Mario Odyssey stuff, right? Like Zelda, like before Breath of the Wild, Zelda felt like the type of game that they did have to give that type of like runway. But now it's like, dude, we'll tell you the name a week before the game comes out and you're going to buy it.
Like, that's a good way to think about it too, because like I think I'm thinking of it the opposite way, where they want to pay it all this respect kind of a thing. But I could also see where it's like, it's going to sell.
The game has already shipped 20 million copies.
Yeah, right.
They're that's why the game's getting delayed, because they have to make sure that they have the stock. it's like we know we're selling 20 million copies in the first 6 months. It's not going to sell 20 million in the first 6 months, but it is going to sell 20 plus million copies within the year that it comes out. I would be shocked if it didn't.
Yeah. So my money's on, hesitantly that we do see it, but I could see just as easy reasons that we don't. Like I wouldn't be disappointed if we don't see it. I wouldn't be too surprised if we don't see it.
Honestly, I mean, but hot take, I guess I would be more disappointed if we do than if we don't.
Interesting.
Like, I don't need to see it again. I literally do not need to see this game. Just give me the title. Give me the title, not now, but give me the title and tell me the date. And that's all I need. I'm already sold. I was sold before they showed the trailer that told us more, because it's Breath of the Wild again. But the trailer that showed us more is like, okay, I get it. I get where you're going here. I get how this is new and with mechanic and where your head's at and all that stuff. And that's nice to know. But I don't need it. Yeah,
it's true. So yeah, there's that. So, but then besides those things, what? Let's
show me the final cutscene. Show me the I'm wearing a Zelda shirt. Hold on. Oh Zelda, dude. What a professional. Zelda shirt. Look at her.
Look at that lady.
Twilight Princess Zelda, dude. Game sucks.
Girl Link.
True, Girl Link.
So some comments on this from YouTube community.
It's too much work. Can I take pictures from Discord?
I don't know. You can take a screenshot. Oh, here, I got you. Here, show the shirt.
Okay. Hold on. I can't even see me. It's my shirt. Look at her.
Nice.
She's right there.
Got it.
Nice.
Got it and got it. Nope. There you go. There it is. It's in chat.
It's in chat.
That's fun. We should do that more. I don't know for what context, but we'll do it more. So in the YouTube community, because I put the poll, Branda P said a 3D Mario game that releases in 2023, perhaps with a teaser trailer for the Mario movie. I don't think we would see that.
True. Not the tease for the Mario movie, but I could see it Mario appearing here in some way.
I do think we'll see that in 2022. I feel like based on Mario and stuff that we would see it early 2022 rather than here. But like I mean, now, same again, because of the movie, they could do something different than usual. I can see it. Yeah. I mean, that would be awesome. Like I mean, you said in your video how whenever that was, videos are a weird nebulous thing now.
2 weeks ago or something. It's like 2 weeks ago.
But that, we'll probably see Mario in 2022 or 3D Mario in 2022. And I'm totally on board with that. So Noah said, I have to bet it would be Mario Kart 9 because we have not seen anything new from the Mario Kart team in over 4 years.
Their Mario Kart game is still selling from 2015. Why would they
do it? I mean, this is directly taken from Per Schneider from NVC, who pointed this out. And I'm like, no, you're totally right. Here, I'll finish 8 years if you count or Mario Kart 8 originally released in 2014 on the Wii U. They're working on something, so it has to be the next Mario Kart. So as Per Schneider pointed out, they technically did put out a Mario Kart game recently. And it was Mario Kart Live or Home Tour Live Circuit, whatever. Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. Yeah, you got it. And for them, that's like checking the box of like, Mario Kart, because sales wise, they don't have to. Mario Kart.
They have a new Mario Kart.
Yeah.
As far as their bank account is concerned, they have a new Mario Kart.
Yeah.
So like, what are you talking about, dude? We released Mario Kart in 2017. What do we got to release another one for?
Yeah. No, I think at this point, it's a safe bet that they're just waiting to launch the next one with their next hardware or something like that, or at a momentous moment, or just like after sales drop off, and then they can tidy up this Mario Kart that I'm sure they're working on a Mario Kart, but like they're pacing it out.
Yeah, they're probably like thinking
really
about it. There's probably like models being made.
But like, especially
or again, knowing Nintendo, it could be done for all we know.
Yeah.
And they're just
the
like,
fact that
the second that like Mario Kart doesn't average being numbered like in the top 5 on the MPD, that's when when we pull the trigger.
Yeah, it's true. Mark said after Mario Kart Tour and Mario Kart Live, the next official Mario Kart will out of nowhere be called Mario Kart 11.
It's true. No, but it would be Mario. See, that's the thing. That like the real curveball is that they're going to call it freaking Mario Kart 13. That's
okay. I said just last night. I mean, I've said this for a long time, but we were watching a YouTube video talking about a movie called Trolls 2, and it was an old, like a 90s movie that was bad. It was an Eddie Burback video. In any case, and then he mentioned that it was a sequel to a movie. It's kind of like a Star Fox the one Adventures situation where it was a completely different thing, and then they're like, it's Star Fox now though. So it was like a sequel to some other movie called Trolls that it wasn't really a sequel to it. But for a second, I thought he was going to say, you don't need to know what Trolls 1 is because there is no Trolls 1. It's just Trolls 2, and it just started at 2. I wanted so long for something to just start at number 2 just for the confusion. And it doesn't do it ever. Nobody ever does it. But like,
dude, we did it. We started at 4, man.
That's
we started at 4.
Honestly, you're not wrong.
We went even further than that.
Yeah, so there it is. Okay,
that's so more on the nose, and most of you know.
For the Game Awards, is there anything else that you would expect to see or guess to see or whatever? Or I don't know.
Reggie's going to wear a shirt with Lucas on it.
just to hurt, just
to rub it in.
Yeah.
There's going to be like somebody's going to I don't know. I'm 50-50 on whether somebody's going to talk about the metaverse or NFTs. Because see, the thing I don't like, Jeff Keighley's getting a whole lot of props from people for being like, we won't talk about NFTs here, as if the last event that he hosted, he didn't announce like the first NFT video game that I've ever heard. Like,
wait, what? I totally missed that. What happened with the last one?
Of him the last event or whatever.
Him announcing
it was like a Summer Games sort of situation. It was like a game that was basically like what are those crappy things? Lee likes
gotcha game.
What are they called? Oh. No, pop figures. It's like Pop Figures, the video game, but they're NFT pop figures that you can control in the video game.
Gross. I hate it.
And he was like, he was like, and he was like talking about like in like his tweet, he was like, we're not going to have NFTs. Pause for applause. And it's like, yo, but dude, you're one of the first people that have ever. Like, you can't do that. you can't take this stand against the thing that you did first. I'm like,
yep. Yeah, I mean, that's I was going to give examples and I couldn't think of like
they are. They're terrible.
Here's my opinion of Funko Pops or whatever, is that they were fun when there weren't that many options of them or whatever, and it was like, you
just got the hipster take. This is the hipster take.
I mean, it was just that like it was fun to be one of like, oh, my fan base is something that like is being represented here among the couple of fan bases that are here. Like, that's a neat thing. But then as soon as everything's there, the aesthetic isn't fun enough on its own to me.
So what you mean
to warrant.
You mean
like
it's the hipster thing?
I mean, it's less the hipster thing and more the close enough to the hipster thing, but slightly different for
tangentially related.
It's
but no, just like they're ugly. IMO. And I get it. It's like, I'm a collector and it's cheap figures and they're approachable because Nendoroids are $5,000. But like, they're ugly.
Yeah, it's true. that stuff. Yeah. So to close up the Game Awards things, we'll see what happens.
Which ironically
expect...
makes it more of a hipster thing.
Alec, it's beautiful.
There are many.
You love to see
it. Don't lie to him.
I let people being happy. You don't love to see people being happy with things that they care about.
His happiness is beautiful. The happiness beautiful. Pops, hideous.
Alec put a picture of him with his pops for context. Man, y'all need to talk more, not people in Discord, but everybody listening, you need to talk more in the Discord so that you can get into the Discord and join, because it's a very fun time.
It's fun.
I'm having a grand old time here. But yeah, last thing I'll say about this is I feel like some kind of third-party exclusive sort of thing, even if it's like kind of small, I feel like it's perfectly likely.
It's going to be DC. Wait, no, hold on. What is the game called? Marvel Ultimate Alliance. It's going to be DC.
Yep.
I didn't think about this joke. Just pretend.
Is it just the opposite? Is that what we're going for?
That's what I was gonna do, but I didn't have time to like. It was too spur of the moment, dude.
I don't know. Opposite of Ultimate, it technically is like the beginning, like because Ultimate is like the last. So DC starting alone.
DC Genesis enemies, dude.
There you go. I mean, that's a game right there. DC Genesis enemies. I kind of
that, and also that
kind of vibes.
Yeah. Yep.
Kind of slaps. All right. A couple of things that you know about that I don't know a whole ton about. The Panda Controller is now announced, and it looks
hype. It looks
pretty cool.
It's very hype. So the whole Smash, or not the whole Smash community, but a lot of the Smash community has like lived and died by a freaking 20-year-old controller that is very outdated and cost them hundreds of dollars to continue to use on a competitive level because it is very outdated and parts are limited and whatnot. And every other platform for like more or less just makes the same controller over and over again. But Nintendo's like, what if we used our brains to make new things? And competition doesn't like new, you know, because I already got good at that thing. I don't want to have to get good at a new thing. So here we are. We got a Smash org who is partnered with Nintendo for a different thing, which is the tournament circuit that we talked about on the last episode. This is unrelated to that. I don't think Nintendo was involved with this controller. They made their take on what the current version of a GameCube controller would be if Nintendo had the same like philosophy as Xbox and Sony, where it's like, let's just evolve our current or like our controller. Like what does an like the modern day version of the original DualShock look like in 2020? You know, that's their take on this. But also it's like a big part of it, and like because of competition and all other stuff, is how like modular and customizable this controller is. And because they also know that Smash Brothers is like this thing that's like easy to approach, hard to master, it's very easy to customize, even if you're not Bob Wolf. You know, if you're not modern Bob Wolf, like the controller comes with the tool to take it apart. You can take a lot of it apart without using any tool because it's like it has magnetic faceplates and stuff like that. On the more like nerdy end, you can mess with like capacitors and like you can mess with the controller snapback on a like software end, because controller like analog sticks, people that know about Joy-Con drift know a version of this, but I mean like analog sticks are not great. They don't last that long. And there's a thing called snapback where it's like how
fast does it go back to neutral?
You do that. And if you do that, sometimes it goes past neutral, like when it's older.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So on the software end, they go in and basically tell the controller after
if it's this
like,
speed
do
or whatever,
not let it snap past this part. Like this,
even if the hardware
variable
does, the
software will not let it. There's other things that's also like on like as far as like the tool part of it, like you can change out the triggers and like change the height of the triggers by going in and like there's like a notch on the inside, basically, where you can like screw it in more or less to make it closer, or like closer to a GameCube controller where there's a lot of distance, like there's a lot of travel, or you can do closer to like a digital input, like the R button on a Pro controller. And there's a lot, and this controller is right now on the Kickstarter, it's way past their initial goal. It's like 10 times their initial goal right now. But right now it's $90. They're saying that their like estimate is after it's like out and like available at retail, that it'll be $95, but something that's probably more expensive than that. It's a cool controller, whether or not you're a competitive Smash player. If you like the GameCube, also there's a Pro controller shell that like more like closely resembles the like feel of a Pro controller. Like it's still like the button layout of the GameCube controller, except for like their modified buttons, and like the C stick is different. Like the buttons are smoother. Like it's not like textured buttons, because travel moving from one button to the next button, it's faster if it's smooth and you don't have any friction between pressing one button and pressing another button. But yeah, no, once it's at retail, it'll be a little bit more expensive, but if this is interesting,
not that much, honestly. And like $90 when I first saw that, I was like, wow, that's a lot for a controller. And then I realized, nope, especially compared to like Elite controllers.
Elite controllers, the like the
$200 or whatever.
The controllers that me and Bob have and use, I was gonna say those, which are way more than that. There's like Etsy, like I have a Etsy controller that was like around the price that I picked, because they have like add-ons for this campaign. So like the thing that you can, so you get the initial controller, that's $90, and then once you pledge that, you can get add-ons like a controller case. I don't think you can see the add-ons unless you
I guess not, like add-ons available after backing. Interesting.
So the add-ons is there's expansion pack on the back of the controller that has different functionality depending on what you slot into the expansion pack. There's one expansion pack that's like a weight thing, like you can change out weights on the inside of the controller to make it heavier or lighter depending on what's comfortable to you. There's a wireless input, because the controller by default's not wireless, and like how they deal with the wire is pretty cool too, where it's like there's a locking mechanism, and the wire that comes with it is like retractable, and it either plugs in through the GameCube input or USB-C. GameCube in Smash Brothers specifically has one less lag of delay than the Pro controller input does, but the Pro controller input is capable of more inputs. Like the GameCube input can only register the buttons that are on the control, like the original GameCube controller. So it won't like register the back buttons that are on the controller, or like ZR and ZL, you know, like that sort of thing. So there's like benefits to both sides. There's also like because like I said, by default, it's not a wireless controller, but there's an expansion pack that makes it wireless, which allows you to use it on PC with, wireless connectivity, and also on the Switch wirelessly. The other add-on is the Pro controller shell that I mentioned before. Both of these add-ons are like $20 to $25. And then there's a case. So I got all of it. I got the case, I got the expansion packs that they have on there. And it was like $165, which was roughly what I paid for the Etsy controller. And I didn't get no case, I didn't get any expansion packs and all that. So it's it's a decent price.
Yeah, man,
it's a very cool controller.
You love to see it. I mean,
expect a video from me and Bob Wolf when it comes out.
Nice.
And they're supposed to be, they're like TBD. I mean, like their ETA on it is next year, December.
Gotcha. Good stuff.
How many extras did you get? That's the whole point, though. The point is that you're not supposed to need an extra, because like any problem with the controller, you could just fix it, and it's simple to fix it. So I didn't buy any extra controller; I just bought one. Nice. But yeah, no, we're just gonna, because we did the controller video when I went out to New York, early 2020, rip, dude. So we'll just do a follow up to that, I'd assume, when this controller comes out. And it should be cool.
Nice. Speaking of Smash too, obviously, the last update has come out, and so tell me, is this like supposed to be final
the
update?
the messaging for Nintendo is that it's the final balancing patch, which means it's the last like patch that will change any fighter specific things. So like changing
maybe some
how
bugs
strong
or something,
fast, like bugs.
Interesting.
They never said that they were done patching online because they made that whole commitment of like, we're trying to make online Smash better.
Right.
I'd assume that that's going to be part of patches in the future, and I also don't fully believe that they're done patching like characters, like especially since they're getting into like the competitive game more directly by partnering for circuits and stuff like that. Like there's going to be stuff that pro players start to like take advantage of, and they're like, oh no, that's broken, we got to fix that, you know, like stuff like that.
Yeah, but I guess like after every character they do like a round of like, let's try to balance everybody, right? It sounds like, and this is that for I forgot who the final character
for Sora.
was.
But also it's like stuff of like they have a roadmap for every character in the game, where the goal of Ultimate, and I mean less so older Smash Brothers games because they didn't really care if it was competitive or not, but for Ultimate specifically is to make everybody viable on some level. So like there's a lot of characters like Mewtwo or Captain Falcon that like throughout the game they continue to get buffs all the way throughout. And this is like more of that. Like they buffed who are characters that got like really big like noteworthy buffs. DK got a noteworthy buff. He's a terrible character before this buff, but now he's slightly less terrible, you know, like you might see some people win with him in the tournament. Bowser Jr., same thing. Ryu is like he's like not a character that's bad, but in the competitive world he's bad because he's not as good as Ken. So it's like, why use Ryu when you could just use Ken?
Right.
But he got a buff, so maybe less people will make that decision. Min got nerfed. I don't think it's a huge deal, honestly. But
here's the thing that I realized. Since you know they're making everybody competitive and everybody's kind of equal playing ground and stuff. This whole time, Ash hasn't been using Pikachu in the Pokemon world. He's been using Pikachu in the Smash world.
It's true, because Pikachu's broken in the Smash world.
And because, like, you know, Pikachu's not competitive in competitive Pokemon.
It's
like,
true.
you know, he can, but in here, I mean,
broken.
Totally. So, like, that's it. That's why Pikachu can dodge stuff.
So the Pokemon RPG
now we know.
Just is like they did get a patch to nerf Pikachu.
That's exactly. That's it. That's the one. All right, now we know.
True, but
so,
that's
in any case, that's cool. I like it.
Characters got buffed. I might start using Inkling again because Inkling got buffed.
Nice.
I need to try it and see if worth.
Yeah, I'm just looking at all these. Yeah, it looks like there's a bunch for Inkling, and like you said, Ryu, Bowser Jr. has some.
Alex said Ash's Pikachu gets a nerf patch every new region. But only for a little bit. Like he'll like he comes into the universe region and loses to a level 5 Snivy, but then he's still battling God by the end, you know?
You know, and maybe it's more that just like Pikachu's really
Pikachu feels bad for Snivy, and it's like, I don't want to wreck.
And he's like, you know what? Let's just he puts a handicap on himself just to like, level the playing field and stuff.
That's a fact.
It's like, trying to give the other person some confidence. Because obviously it's working. Pikachu, good job. Pikachu's not sad by it. He's not feeling bad about himself.
It's true. Only Ash.
So there you go. That's all the news stuff. We don't have any comments from our videos because we didn't have any videos. More to come on that at a different time. And but we do have a couple of questions from Q&A and stuff. So we talked about some of them from YouTube community because they were the ones about the Game Awards, but then here's one that's not, but we already talked about it. Matthew Krause said, if it hasn't been discussed already, it has. Have you seen the new Panda GameCube controller? Does it interest you at all as a pro controller user?
I mean, it definitely interests me. It addresses all the things that I don't like about the GameCube controller. Like I've talked about, I talked with some people and like supporters and like I talked to Mars, who I play Smash with a lot, and he's like a Twitch subscriber, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's not sure he wants to use it because he's so used to like the diamond layout on the Pro controller and every other controller in the world right now. But I personally don't care so much about the button layout. Like I'm fine with the GameCube button layout.
Mm-hmm.
It was more so a thing of like the GameCube controller has less buttons. I don't like the actual form of the controller, like the shape of it as much. The C stick is stupid, and I mean that part. The C stick, I think the C stick is still like it looks like it's a little bit bigger, but it's still like roughly the same size. But I mean, backer Q&A says that they might make that hot swappable, and you just put a regular thing in there, which is cool. So for the most part, the controller addresses all the problems that I have and gives me even more reasons to want to use it. Like I like the Pro controller more because I have more input options. I can map more buttons to solve problems, to make things easier to do. Like because on a like mental level, there's not as many times where I don't know what to do, but on a mechanical level, it can be harder to execute what I feel like I need to do. If I have more buttons, it can make that process easier. Like short hop macros and all that stuff. So like the back button, whereas like right now I gotta like I press R and X to do the jump macro, and then either use the right stick, which is at the bottom of the controller, to do an aerial, or press A and then move the left analog stick. Now I can just press a back button and the R button, which means I don't have to move one of my, or the L button even, which means I don't have to move one of my hands at all. And then the other like right thumb can just sit on the C stick. So I don't have to move anything to do a new, so like on that end, I like it a lot because it gives me more of what I like the Pro controller about. I mean, why I like the Pro controller.
Do you, out of curiosity, when you're using a controller, do you use different fingers for like R and ZR, or do you use the same one and switching back and forth?
I use it. Well, it depends on what I'm doing, but more or less the different fingers. I use my middle
and then
finger
so back
for
buttons
ZR
would be on. That would
like, be like my back buttons would be like my
ring fingers or
ring
something.
fingers. Yeah.
For somebody like I played an Elite controller or I held one at some point, and it had I think 2 paddles on, or 4 paddles on the back, like 2 on each side.
Yeah.
And just trying to have one finger on each button thing is like so weird to me.
Yeah.
But obviously, once you get used to it, it's really helpful. But yeah.
Because I know I definitely know a lot of people like that, where it's like they really just use their thumbs and maybe pointer fingers.
Yeah, I use pointer. I just switch them because I just don't have enough things where I've ever had to use them interchangeably or whatever, those buttons. So yeah, but we'll see.
Really, the only time that I even approach having to like use one hand or one finger or whatever is like when you got to mash. Yeah, then you do the Mario Party thing,
That's true. Yeah, good question. All right, so now Discord, we got 2 questions. Megman asks, do your families have any weird Christmas traditions that you do every year?
No.
Weird.
Well, on one end, half of my mom is Jehovah's Witness, so she doesn't celebrate Christmas. I guess that's weird. But other than that, it's like like my dad's side, like we go to my aunt's house for Christmas Eve, and then we do like freaking, what is it called, like the white
Secret
elephant.
Santa, white elephant,
that situation. And then we get to open one gift before, or when I cared about gifts, that was like the thing. Like it's like, all right, pick a gift. Like here are the boxes, pick one that you want to open before you go to sleep. And then we open gifts in the morning, and my grandma and everybody comes over for breakfast, and then we go over to my grandma on my dad's side, their house, and we open more gifts. And it's pretty generic Christmas stuff. Nothing super out of the ordinary on that end.
I mean, I feel that pretty well as far as the things that we do. Like Christmas season wise, like some highlights are, there's a certain kind of cookie that I like to make, apple cider, that kind of thing. There's one specific Christmas album that when that comes on, it's like, yep, it's Christmas season now. And it's some family friends just gave us some CD. They're like, I don't know, here's some a jazzy Christmas. here it is, here you go. And it's just a pianist and an upright bass player, and it's so good. And so I'll put it in somewhere if people want to hear it or something. But it's Bill Augustine and Malcolm Cecil playing A Jazzy Christmas, and it's just like perfect Christmas vibes. So that stuff. But then otherwise, yeah, like go to Christmas Eve service, and like we end up being a lot of different places at Christmas. So like the day itself, I feel like looks pretty different depending on if we're either, you know, with my parents in Belgium, or if we're here with Ashley's parents, and or here but with my parents somewhere else or something like that. So that's not particularly consistent, but having like moved around a bunch as a kid and being in Christmas in different places, I feel like it's, yeah, the order of activities has never been particularly strong, but like having breakfast together,
I think like that's like
that kind of stuff
that is like the thing that is the most like specific. The order is like like we're doing this, and then we're doing this, and then we're doing this.
Yeah.
But like what happens at those things, that is like more.
Yeah.
I
mean, I also like, do you have specific Christmas meals? Like these
There's
are
like certain stuff like my stepmom, she always makes like this breakfast casserole thing.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah.
What else? I feel like that's really it. Other than like it's just Thanksgiving again. It's just the Thanksgiving for like eating Christmas food specifically. It's just Thanksgiving.
That is one thing I miss about my family's Christmas growing up, is that, so whereas now with in-laws and stuff, it's pretty much same. Like it's ham again, because we don't really do turkey, but ham and like the sides and those kinds of things. It's that, which is fine. Whereas my family always did very like interactive meals, such as doing like, you know, pancakes on the we had a little like pancake pan thing where we could sit together, and like nobody has to be slaving away cooking something and then come in or whatever,
right?
But instead it's like just whatever, you know, things where you kind of all make them together, or like there's something called, or like fondue or something like that.
I was going to say that specifically. Like that was the first thing that came to mind where you said
fondue, raclette, all sorts of stuff like that. So I do miss that specifically. And you know, maybe we can make that happen this year. I might pose a suggestion of at least something being like that, but we'll see. So there you go. Good question, Mega Man. And then last but not least,
Alex says, I made donuts Christmas morning. Yo, Alex be baking. It's crazy, dude.
You should come to Nashville and drop off some donuts. Trev said send donuts. And then Mark asked, un-Christmas related. I can't believe you asked a non-Christmas question. Mark, crazy, what are you doing? Which N64 or later Nintendo franchise would you like to see a remake of, or something along the lines of what if blank started as a game on the NES or SNES?
I want to see it. So N64 later, I want to see a remake of Splatoon. I want to see like a 16-bit Splatoon game.
Absolutely agreed. That's a really good.
That'd be very sick.
It's funny because I have to think about like which ones of them would. Well, I mean, I guess if it's a remake now, rather than they actually started at the time, where we can do some technological stuff now. So ARMS, for example, was one that I thought of, where like
ARMS would be cool too.
ARMS would be cool to make now as a remake. Yeah, but if it came out in the 16-bit era, I don't think it would have been slow and kind of like laggy, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, but now
every character was just Dalsim.
Yeah,
from Street Fighter.
Yeah, those ones. Kind of curious about Animal Crossing, but I feel like it just would have been worse.
It's just Stardew Valley, but not. You know, it's Stardew Valley, but less stuff to do. Yeah,
right. A lot of the charm of Animal Crossing is not a lot of it would be lost, but at least some of it would be lost.
I think a lot of Animal Crossing is its presentation, especially New Horizons, where it's like people have so much fun just going to each other's islands and doing the reactions. You know, like that was literally half of why it was hilarious when we were going through your island, is because like you would run up to something and do a reaction, like, "Look, I did this!" Like, I made this. I made the community center or whatever. Like,
resident services. That's from the ground up, man. I just built
Truly
it.
built it.
I'm really creative.
You got all you got hardwood and all that stuff. How much hardwood did it take? Like 5,000?
5,003, I think. It was an odd number, I remember, of course. So, but
that like tonality was so your dad, dude. That was so your dad.
Like my literal dad. Oh yeah, because you watched the video.
Yes,
because you made the video. Oh, that's funny.
I had a flashback.
That's really funny. Yeah, I mean, I am his son, indeed.
It's
There's
true.
more and more in life. I'm realizing various things in good ways and bad ways. Where like, oh, that's just like my dad. I'm like, ugh, that's just like my dad. I love my dad a lot, but I mean, nobody's perfect. So, oh man, I'm trying to think of other ones. Like, what else has come out since then? I mean, lots of stuff.
Xenoblade, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what would that even be?
Pikmin. That could be interesting. I mean, maybe you just get Hey Pikmin and that would be bad. I don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Ring Fit.
There you go. Yeah,
No,
I don't know.
what would I mean? It would probably just be like Super Smash Flash. But it would probably just be Super Smash Flash, but like Smash on the SNES too.
I'm just looking through a list real quick just to catch any last ones that we might miss. I mean, so many of these started so early on, to be honest. Luigi's Mansion. That would be like, again, no, I don't want any of these NES, like all 16-bit.
I feel that's the thing. Like, if it started earlier as an N64 game, like as an N64 game, then people would be like, the same way they talk about Mario 64, where it's like it's the best game of all time, you know?
Yeah.
But like if it came out now as an N64 game, we'd be like, this game sucks. But I feel like it would be dope if Luigi's Mansion started as an N64 game then.
Yes, right.
And that's why I think like it says a lot that all of them were like, 16-bit. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep. So there you go. I'm sure there's others, but for now, that's
those are the top of mind, easy ones.
Yep. Indeed.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
It was a good time. Both people listening to the show in the future and in the past with our present, past, technically past. Because when I say it, there's a little bit of a delay. So you're in the past, I'm in the present.
That's very true.
But either way, thanks for hanging out. You can support the show by doing all the things I said at the beginning of the show. Just go to the beginning. You can hear this feel. People like this feel. People like it because it changes all the time, and I don't know what I'm talking about until I do. Like it just I just start talking and whatever comes out, I'm rolling with it. But anyway, what's the sign off? What are we doing? What's the question that we do?
You know what? Let's keep it Christmas themed. What's your if you like Christmas songs at all, Christmas music at all? What's your favorite Christmas carol, Christmas song, Christmas, something like that? Let us know.
What's that? Rank your top 3 Christmas songs. Do all the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe. Do all the podcast stuff, rate, share it with a friend. Tell them you like the show. Say, this is my favorite show of all time. Show them your Spotify rap.
Yeah.
Saw a couple of those.
Were we on anybody's?
Yeah, I saw
nice.
The one that I saw most recently. We were like right under Spawn cast. And I was like,
fun times.
Okay. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.